In the last class, we have discussed about problem characteristics and what else? We have talked about production system characteristics, and I said that we will discuss a problem on water jug, right? So that's what we're going to do today. This actually water jug problem comes under constraint satisfaction problem as well. But why I am discussing with you now is because it also comes under that problem characteristics where we did last class. Um, uh, in the third point, whether the problem is universally predictable. So this water jug problem comes under this. And I said that in that um, there are two types. One is with certain outcome and another is with uncertain outcome. So here you can add this uh, at the certain outcome you have this water jug problem as well. So 8 puzzle we have already discussed. Water jug problem today we'll do. Okay, so you will see questions like this in water jug problem. The question would be like this: you have 7 liters, a jug that can hold 7 liter, okay, full of water, and two smaller jugs, one that contains 4 liters and the other contains 3 liters. Okay, none of the jugs have markings on them, nor you have any additional measuring device, and you have to divide this 7 liters total number, okay, of liters of water equally between two of your friends, so that each of them get 2 liters of water each. And how can you do this problem? Okay, so in this you have some constraints. The constraints are that you are given um, two jugs uh, without knowing its capacity, right? Without knowing its capacity, without any markings on it. So, and you have to, we're going to assume two jars, okay? Let's say this the first jar and this is the second jar. And let's say the first jar can contain 4 liters of water and the second jar can contain 3 liters of water, okay? Right, so 7 liters, this 4 plus 3 makes 7 liter, right? And let's assume this x first jar as x, the capacity of the first jar is x, and the capacity of the second jar as y. Okay, now and the goal that you have to achieve is to divide this amount of water equal with 2 lit I mean you have to divide this 7 liters of water equally, so that each of your friend gets 2 liters each, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to make 2 liters each. So um, if you are to solve it, mm, you can do it like this. You have this x and y as the capacity of the first jar and the second jar, right? Initially we'll empty the jar. Emptying means 0 0, nothing is there. And after that you will uh, fill this second jar. Right now you are having like this empty, right? And the full capacity, the actual capacity, and the capacity of the first jar is 4 liter and the second is 3 liter. Now let's go to the next. You can fill the second jar with 3 liters, right? So you fill the second jar with 3 liter. Now what do you have in the jar? You have 0 here and 3 here, right? Now next what will we do? Let's try to make both of them equally. So now you have to fill this, is the time to fill this jar, right? Just wait a minute. Yeah, just hold on a second. Just 2 minutes. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, let me resume. Uh, Let me do it in another way. Just wait. Where is my this? Okay, so let me try to make both of them equal. Okay, so next I can uh, the, uh, the actual amount that first jar can contain is 4 liter, right? So I can deduct one from here, and I can have three here, and like this, right? So right now I have three in the jar. Now, what can I do? I can the capacity that I have to make is, um, I mean, the liter of water that I have to divide is 2 liters among each, right? So I can deduct one from here, right, and transfer it to here. So it would be 4 and 2, right? Right now you have 4 2. So right now at this situation you have 4 and 2 in the 4 liters, 4 and 2 liters in the jar. Right. Now next what can I do after this? I can um, empty this jar. Okay. If I empty this jar, it would be 0 comma 2, right? Now y is having 2, right? And in the next step I can move this to here, the amount of liter in the second jar to the first jar, and it would be 2 comma 0, right? So this is how you do it. And how are you going to do this in artificial intelligence? For this you have some rules given to you. Let me do it. uh, you will be given a state space, and your state space is nothing but the liters of water. You said that we have, in the X jar you have 4 liters, and in the Y jar you have 3 liters, right? So now what are the rules? Rule number 1 is, initially, okay, X comma Y is how much? 4, and then Y as it is, okay. Second is X comma Y, X as it is, and how much is Y? Y is 3, right? These are rules, okay, and using these rules you are going to implement them, solve the problem according to the question using these rules. So the third point is, the third rule is, this is when you are to move the amount of water, okay, to the from the x jar to the y jar. Then how will you do? That would be x minus d comma y, where x is greater than 0, and the fourth rule is x comma y, x comma y comma d when y is greater than 0. The fifth point is x comma y, 0 comma y. This is when you empty x, okay? This is empty x, okay? And sixth is when you empty y, it would be 0 here in place of um, y. These are not sequential rules, okay? Like I'm just writing it this way. It's kind of a formula, and you have to apply them wherever it suits in when you solve the problem, okay? The seventh is if you want to move, let's say, for example, let's say you have 1 liter in a jar, in the first jar, and 3 liter in a second jar, okay? Just wait again. I'm so sorry. I got distracted. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, let me continue. I'm so sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so x comma y you have here, right? Okay, so if you were to transfer some amount of water to this jar, okay, from the y jar, and you don't know how much water, how much liter of water should be transferred to this jar. So in order to find it out, you need the uh, um, actual amount of water that is in the jar, okay, and then minus what is the um, um, water in the jar right now, that is 4 minus 1 is equals to 3, right? So this is the amount of water that should be in this jar. So how will you do that? That can be done by, this is x na, the value of um, water in the jar right now, this can be replaced by x, right? So that's what you do here. 4 comma y minus 4 minus x, okay? This is for moving y to x, okay? Next you have same thing. If you are to move from x jar to y jar, it would be in a reverse way, okay? Ninth, x comma y, x plus y 0, x comma y 0 comma x plus y, okay? So x plus y is less than equals to 4 and x plus y is less than equals to 3. Okay, so these are the rules that you have to use to implement the to solve the given problem. So to solve this, just make a tabular form and divide this into these parts. First for the writing the value of x, and second for y, and here the number, the rule which you are applying. Okay, so now initially I said that you will empty the jar. Empty means 0 0, so x and y is having 0 values. Right now you are not using any rule, applying any rule, right? So you just leave it blank as it is. And in the second, okay, you have to write the actual amount of capacity, right? Here it is 4 and here it is 3, right? So now uh, you will fill the y jar with 3. Okay, 3, that's the maximum capacity of y. Then x value is 0, so remain as it is. So which rule are you applying here? You are applying second rule now. X comma 3, x is 0 and 3 is the value of y, so you are applying rule number 2 here. And in the next, what you will do, you will have to fill um, uh, x. Okay, you'll have to fill x. So in order to do this, um, what will you do? You can take from y, huh? You can take from y and transfer it to x, right? So that would be rule number 9. According to rule number 9, it would be adding the x and y, that is 3 na, or you can say 3 is being transferred to x. If you transfer y value to x, it would be 3, and then y becomes 0, right? This is according to rule number 9. Okay, now you have in the jar right now 3 and 0. Okay, now you are to fill y jar again. Y is 0, so you have to fill it. So how will you do this? You can again apply rule number 2. Rule number 2 says x comma the value of y. So the actual value of y. X right now, here we have 3, right? And the actual value of y is, 3 na? So 3, and you are applying rule number 2. Now it's 3 3, right? And we are supposed to make it this now 2 0 and something like this. So what can you do is you now you can fill x. Okay, if you fill x, it would be if you take 1 liter from y, x will become 4 liter, and then this will get deducted, right? And this rule is according to rule number 7. Rule number 7 says this, right? If you move from this to this would be the formula, right? And you are applying that rule, and that is rule number 7. Okay, and after that, y is having 2, right? What you can do, um, you have to minimize x na. So you can empty x, right? You can empty x, but how will you do that? You can um, apply uh, rule number 5, empty x, right? Empty x, 0 comma y. If you empty x, okay, if you empty this, it will become 0, and then this will be as it is. You're not, you this time you are not emptying x and moving it to y, you are just emptying x. Okay, y remains the same. That is according to rule number 5. Okay, now you have 2 in y, yeah, that's fine. And the last step is you can apply rule number 9, right, where you take the value of y and move it to x, right? So I don't have space here, so I'm going to add it here in this. After this, you have this. You have the value of y transferred to x becomes to 0, and this is according to rule number 9. Okay, so same way I want you all to do one question as an assignment. Don't worry, I'll share the recordings today in the Google Classroom. You can access it. Um, but I want you all to solve this. I'll give one example, one question. And after that, in the next class, I'll share the answer. Please note this down and solve it using that rule that I have given to you. But this time you are having 5 liters and 3 liters, right? Over here, 5 liters and 3 liters, right? So yeah, in this case, this x will be substituted by 5, y will be substituted by 3 liter. So you have to make a change in the rule here. It would be 5 comma y and x comma 3. Okay, and yeah, the rest you have to make it accordingly. Yeah, that's all. Anything else?